Most people will spend the next 5 years trying to learn something they could have learned in 3 months. Not because they're lazy, not because they're busy, because nobody told them that the way they've been learning is fundamentally broken. You've watched videos, read articles, maybe even bought a course, and you still don't feel like you actually know it. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The problem isn't your intelligence. It isn't your schedule. It's the way you've been learning. And once you change that one thing, everything moves faster. Today I'm going to show you exactly how to use AI to learn anything in half the time, not by working harder, by using a method that actually matches how your brain holds on to information. And don't worry, you don't need to be a tech person for any of this. But before I show you how to do it right, let me show you what almost everyone does wrong. Because this mistake is invisible, and it's costing you more time than you realize. Most people open ChatGPT or Claude, type something like, "Explain this topic to me." They read the response and think they've learned it. It feels productive. You understood every word. You nodded along. You closed the tab feeling good. And then 3 days later, it's gone, completely from your memory. Here's why. Understanding something in the moment and actually learning it are two completely different things. Your brain felt the information, but never stored it. A study published in late 2025 measured exactly this. 120 students learning the same material, half using AI, half using traditional methods. A surprise test 45 days later found the AI group scored significantly lower. Surprising, right? The reason wasn't the AI, it was how they used it. They read, but they didn't retrieve. And retrieval is everything. So what does retrieval actually mean? And how do you use AI to trigger it? Here's the first thing you need to do, and it changes the entire experience. Stop asking AI to explain things to you, and start asking AI to teach you like a conversation. There's a difference. When AI explains, you receive passively. When AI teaches conversationally, you think actively. And thinking is what moves information from short-term to long-term memory. Here's the exact prompt to use. Open Claude or ChatGPT and type this. "I want to learn topic. Don't explain it all at once. Teach me the way a great teacher would. Ask me questions, give me one concept at a time, check if I understood before moving on, and correct me when I'm wrong." That's it. Now AI becomes a private tutor that adapts to you in real time, not a textbook that dumps information on you all at once. And here's what happens next that most people don't expect. The moment AI starts asking you questions instead of just answering yours, you'll realize what you actually know versus what you only thought you knew. That gap is uncomfortable. It's also exactly where real learning happens. But there's a specific kind of question you should ask AI to use with you, and most people never think to request it. Ask AI to give you analogies, not definitions, analogies. Your brain doesn't store raw facts well. It stores connections. When you understand something new by connecting it to something you already know, it sticks. AI tools bring a distinct advantage by creating personalized learning materials that fit your unique needs. And the most powerful of those is the analogy that uses your own life as the reference point. Here's the prompt to use. Explain concept using an analogy from everyday life, something a non-technical person would immediately recognize. Try it once, and you'll never go back to reading plain definitions again. Now, here's the part that separates people who actually retain what they learn from people who constantly feel like they're starting over. You've heard of spaced repetition. Most people know the concept. Almost nobody does it, because with traditional learning, it requires discipline and a whole separate system. But with AI, it takes about 3 minutes. Without revisiting material, most of what you learn fades within a week. The fix is spaced repetition, encountering the same material at increasing intervals. AI makes this almost frictionless. Here's exactly how to do it. After your first learning session, come back 3 days later and type this. "Quiz me on topic. Don't give me the answers first. Ask me 5 questions and wait for my response before telling me if I'm right." No notes, no looking back, just answer from memory. You will remember more than you expect on some things and less than you expect on others. That unevenness is your roadmap. It shows you exactly where to focus next. Then come back again 7 days later, same prompt. Then 14 days. Each time the material gets easier to retrieve. Each time it moves deeper into long-term memory. And guess what? The whole thing takes less than 15 minutes per session. But what about when you're trying to learn something complicated, something with layers? Something where you read the same paragraph 3 times and still don't feel like you get it. This is where most people give up. And it's also where AI is most powerful if you know what to ask. Here's the prompt that cuts through complicated material faster than anything else. I'm struggling to understand specific concept. Explain it to me like I'm intelligent but completely new to this subject. Then give me one real-world example of how it works in practice. Two things happen. First, the AI simplifies without dumbing down. Second, the real-world example gives your brain somewhere to attach the concept. Abstract ideas without examples float away. Concrete examples anchor. And if you still don't get it after that, don't ask the same question again. Ask this instead. What is the most common misconception people have about concept, and what's the truth? Misconceptions are the back door into understanding. Knowing what something is not helps your brain define what it actually is. Now here's something that almost nobody talks about when it comes to learning with AI. And it's the thing that will save you the most time of everything in this video. Most people learn in one direction. They read or listen, they take in, but they never output. And output is where learning becomes permanent. After any learning session, even a short one, ask AI this: based on what I just learned, give me a simple real-world scenario and ask me to apply the concept to solve it. Now you're not just remembering the information, you're using it. And the moment you use something, your brain flags it as worth keeping. AI tools don't just correct mistakes, they enhance how you think, structure, and express your ideas. But only if you give them the chance to push back on you. Most people use AI as a search engine. The people learning fastest in 2026 are using it as a sparring partner. Here's the last piece, and this one is specifically for people who are trying to learn something while working full-time, managing a family, or just genuinely short on time. I want you to know that you don't need long sessions. You need consistent short ones. Here's what this looks like in practice. 15 minutes in the morning before your day starts. You open Claude or ChatGPT. You type, "Yesterday I was learning topic. Quiz me on what I covered before we continue." 3 to 5 questions. You answer from memory, AI corrects and continues. 15 minutes later, you've reinforced yesterday's learning and moved forward. That's it. Even 15 to 20 minutes daily with spaced repetition creates lasting learning. You don't need a weekend. You need a consistent 15 minutes and the right prompts. Let me bring this all together because there are 5 things I just showed you, and I want to make sure you leave with all of them. First, stop asking AI to explain. Ask it to teach you conversationally, one concept at a time, with questions. Second, ask for analogies, not definitions. Your brain stores connections, not raw facts. Third, come back 3 days later and quiz yourself. Don't open your notes, just rely on memory. That retrieval is what makes learning permanent. Fourth, when something is complicated, ask for the real-world example, and then ask for the most important misconception. Both together break through confusion faster than rereading ever will. Fifth, output after every session. Apply the concept to a real scenario AI gives you. The moment you use something, your brain decides to keep it. Here's what I want you to do right now. Pick one thing you've been trying to learn. One thing that keeps slipping away every time you think you have it. Open Claude or ChatGPT and type this exact prompt. I want to learn your topic. Don't explain it all at once. Teach me the way a great teacher would. Ask me questions, give me one concept at a time, check if I understood before moving on, and correct me when I'm wrong. Hit send. See what happens in the next 10 minutes. I think you'll be surprised how different it feels from every other time you've tried to learn this. Drop in the comments, what's the one thing you've been trying to learn that just won't stick? Let me know. You might be surprised how many people are stuck on the exact same thing.